My photo taste is the Pinterest, because they are the best.
Before we recap on our words today, of course, we have our Facebook challenge. We've been talking about doors, amongst other things, and we have a door idiom. The question is, what does "to show someone the door" mean? Is it A, to invite someone into your house? B, to tell or make it obvious you want someone to leave? Or C, to make something possible? What was the response like?
It was a very good response, as always. Nearly everybody got it right. A few of the names I'm reading out today are Pero Pavic, Chico Chagas, who both said answer B, and Ibrahim English told us it means to make it obvious that you want someone to leave. Showing the door to someone is a hint that you want him or her to leave the place. So well done, everyone who said answer B.
Yes, so just time now for a recap, please.
And our three words were privacy, which means the right to keep personal information secret. Encryption is the action of putting information into a code to keep it secret. And backdoor describes a secret route into a secure system.
If you would like to test yourself on today's vocabulary, there's a quiz you can take on our website, bbclearningenglish.com, where you can find all sorts of other videos, quizzes and activities to help you improve your English. Thanks for joining us and goodbye.
Bye.
News review from BBC Learning English.
This is a download from BBC Learning English. To find out more, visit our website.
And welcome to 6 Minute English, the programme where we bring you an interesting topic and 6 items of vocabulary. I'm Neil. Today, we're talking about jobs.
And I'm Dan. And specifically, we're looking at the trend for having more than one job.
Yes, on that note, Dan, were you ever asked this question as a kid? What do you want to be when you grow up? Do you remember your answer?
I wanted to be a Ninja Turtle. And you?
That doesn't surprise me. I think I wanted to be a professional footballer. I wanted to play for England. Well, for many people, that question gets harder the older they become. It's one reason why more and more people have what we call portfolio careers these days, so they can do a bit of everything.
A portfolio, as a noun, means a case for carrying large pictures. Or it can mean the collection of pictures themselves. But we also use it as an adjective to describe groups of certain things, in this case, careers.
Indeed. We could say someone who is a part-time teacher and a part-time musician has a portfolio career.
Sounds like a good combination. First, let's do today's question. It's job-related. Many surnames in English originally come from professions. The surname Baker, for example, was originally given to people who worked as bakers. But what about the surname Bond, as in 007, James Bond? Who had this surname? Was it A, farmers, B, spies, or C, guards?
It can't be spies, can it? So I'm going to guess guards, C.
Great. Well, let's find out at the end of the program.
Now, the portfolio career. Emily Wapnick is the Canadian author of a book called How to Be Everything, a guide for those who still don't know what they want to be when they grow up.
Which specific example of a portfolio career does she mention?
More and more people are doing multiple things and multiple jobs, and it's not just to make ends meet. A lot of people are choosing this kind of lifestyle. They've got, 3 different businesses that are just thriving, or they're a serial entrepreneur, or they've got a career in 2 different areas. There was a guy that I mentioned who is a psychotherapist and a luthier. He makes violins, and he is very successful in both.
Emily is clearly a fan of this kind of working. She says she knows a man who's both a psychotherapist and a luthier, someone who makes violins.
She says this trend is more than just about working to make ends meet. In other words, working to make enough money to live. And she used another interesting expression, a serial entrepreneur. What's that exactly?
Well, an entrepreneur is someone who starts and runs businesses. And the use of serial here as an adjective describes someone who does the same thing again and again. Though we should say the adjective is more often used for criminal activity, such as a serial killer or serial murderer.
Ugh. Not the kind of portfolio career I had in mind. A serial entrepreneur, on the other hand, starts and runs business after business.
Another thing, because Emily believes the world of work is changing fast, it's sensible to be able to do more than one thing. In other words, it's wise to add another string to your bow.
A great phrase, which really just means to learn new skills you can use in the future. I'd like to learn Japanese. That would add another string to my bow.
そうですね. But choosing a portfolio career is not for everyone, of course. It often simply comes down to money.
Here's Charles Handy, writer and philosopher, and the man who popularized the term portfolio career in the first place.
80% of the people in corporate jobs hate them or are dissatisfied with them. Whereas if you're doing your own thing, 80% of them really like the freedom and the entrepreneurial spirit, even if they're not making an awful lot of money. It's a balancing job, really. You're free, but you're poor. Or you're slaved, but you're richer.
Sounds like a difficult choice. Be poor or be a slave. What would you choose, Dan?
I'd rather be poor and free, thank you very much.
Well, let's explain a term he used. A corporate job. What does corporate mean?
Quite literally, it's the adjective from the term corporation. A corporate job is a job at a big corporation, company, or organization. Usually well paid and with certain benefits.
Could we say James Bond has a corporate career?
Yes, I guess so. And thank you for reminding me to answer today's question. Which profession does the surname Bond come from?
And I said the Bonds were guards.
I'm afraid you were wrong. Bonds were originally peasant farmers who were bound to work for a particular lord. This word goes back over 1,000 years. The spying game came much later.
Indeed. Let's spy today's words once more. We had portfolio, which can be used in different ways. There's a portfolio career, as well as the original meaning of a portfolio of art. Any others?
Yes, people talk about a portfolio of investments, when you invest in several companies at once to reduce the risk.
Talking of money, we had to make ends meet. People often work a number of different part-time jobs to make ends meet, to make enough money to live on.
Though having a lot of part-time jobs is not the same thing as being a serial entrepreneur. Serial means doing something repeatedly, usually a crime.
And an entrepreneur is someone who starts and runs businesses.
I'd love to start a business. First, I'd need to learn a new skill, add another string to my bow, and learn yoga. Then maybe one day I'll run a yoga business.
Not for me, though. I prefer the corporate life, a secure job in a big corporation.
Okay, but then you can come to my yoga classes after work.
All right.
And that's the end of today's 6-Minute English. Please join us again soon.
And we're on social media, of course. Make sure to visit our Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube pages.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
6-Minute English from bbclearningenglish.com.
This is a download from BBC Learning English. To find out more, visit our website.
6-Minute English from BBC Learning English.
Hello and welcome to 6-Minute English, the programme where we bring you an interesting topic and 6 items of vocabulary. I'm Neil. Today, we're talking about jobs.
And I'm Dan. And specifically, we're looking at the trend for having more than one job.
Yes, on that note, Dan, were you ever asked this question as a kid? What do you want to be when you grow up? Do you remember your answer?
I wanted to be a Ninja Turtle. And you?
That doesn't surprise me. I think I wanted to be a professional footballer. I wanted to play for England. Well, for many people, that question gets harder the older they become. It's one reason why more and more people have what we call portfolio careers these days, so they can do a bit of everything.
A portfolio, as a noun, means a case for carrying large pictures, or it can mean the collection of pictures themselves. But we also use it as an adjective to describe groups of certain things, in this case, careers.
Indeed. We could say someone who is a part-time teacher.
My photo taste is the Pinterest because they are the best. Flick to link, a link to flick.
Perdimos mucho tiempo en la escuela aprendiendo ortografía. Los chicos siguen perdiendo mucho tiempo en la escuela con la ortografía. Por eso, yo quiero compartir con ustedes una pregunta. ¿Hace falta una nueva ortografía? Yo creo que sí.
que hace falta, o mejor, creo que hace falta simplificar la que ya tenemos. Ni la pregunta ni la respuesta son nuevas en nuestra lengua. Vienen rebotando de siglo en siglo desde hace mucho tiempo, desde que en 1492, en la primera gramática de la lengua castellana, Antonio de Nebrija sentó para nuestra ortografía un principio claro y sencillo. Así tenemos de escribir como pronunciamos y pronunciar como escribimos. A cada sonido debía corresponderle una letra, cada letra debía representar un solo sonido, y las que no representaran ningún sonido debían eliminarse. Este criterio, el criterio fonético, el que dice que tenemos que escribir según pronunciamos, está y no está en la base de la ortografía como la practicamos hoy. Está porque el español, a diferencia de otras lenguas como el inglés o el francés, siempre tuvo una resistencia fuerte a escribir demasiado diferente de cómo pronunciamos. Pero no está, porque cuando en el siglo XVIII se decidió cómo íbamos a uniformar nuestra escritura, hubo otro criterio que guió buena parte de las decisiones. Ese otro criterio fue el etimológico, el que dice que tenemos que escribir según cómo las palabras se escribieran en su lengua original, en latín, en griego, y así nos quedamos con H's mudas, que escribimos pero no pronunciamos. Así nos quedamos con B largas y B cortas, que contrariamente a lo que mucha gente cree, nunca se diferenciaron en la pronunciación del castellano. Así nos quedamos con G's, que a veces suenan ásperas como en gente, y a veces suenan suaves como en gato. Así nos quedamos con C's, S's y Z's, tres letras que en algunos lugares corresponden a un sonido y en otros a dos, pero en ninguno a tres. No vengo a contarles nada que ustedes no sepan por experiencia propia. Todos nosotros fuimos a la escuela. Todos nosotros invertimos grandes cantidades de tiempo de aprendizaje, grandes cantidades de ese tiempo de cerebro plástico infantil en dictados, en la memorización de reglas ortográficas llenas, sin embargo, de excepciones. Nos transmitieron de muchas formas, implícitas y explícitas, la idea de que en la ortografía se jugaba algo fundamental de nuestra formación. Sin embargo, yo tengo la sensación de que los maestros no se preguntaron por qué era tan importante. Incluso no se hicieron una pregunta previa. ¿Cuál era la función que cumplía la ortografía? ¿Para qué sirve la ortografía? Y la verdad es que cuando uno se hace esa pregunta, la respuesta es bastante más simple y menos trascendental de lo que suelen creer. La ortografía sirve para uniformar la escritura, para que todos escribamos igual y por lo tanto nos sea más fácil entendernos cuando nos leemos. Pero en contraposición con otros aspectos de la lengua, como la puntuación, por ejemplo, en la ortografía no hay ninguna habilidad expresiva individual involucrada. En la puntuación sí. Yo con la puntuación puedo elegir cambiarle el sentido a una frase. Con la puntuación puedo imprimirle un ritmo particular a lo que estoy escribiendo. Con la ortografía no. Con la ortografía o está bien o está mal, según se ajuste o no se ajuste a las normas vigentes. Pero entonces, ¿no sería más sensato simplificar las normas vigentes para que sea más fácil enseñar, aprender y utilizar correctamente la ortografía? ¿No sería más sensato simplificar las normas vigentes para que todo ese tiempo que hoy le dedicamos a la enseñanza de la ortografía se lo podamos dedicar a otras cuestiones de la lengua cuya complejidad sí merecen el tiempo y el esfuerzo? Lo que yo propongo no es abolir la ortografía, no es que cada uno escriba como quiera. La lengua es una herramienta de uso común y por lo tanto me parece fundamental que la usemos siguiendo criterios comunes. Pero también me parece fundamental que esos criterios comunes sean lo más simples que se pueda, sobre todo porque si simplificamos nuestra ortografía, no estamos nivelando para abajo. Cuando se simplifica la ortografía, no se resiente en nada la calidad de la lengua. Yo trabajo todos los días con la literatura del siglo de oro. Leo a Garcilaso, a Cervantes, a Góngora, a Quevedo, que a veces escriben hombre sin H, a veces escriben escribir con B corta, y me queda absolutamente claro que la diferencia entre esos textos y los nuestros es de convención, o de falta de convención todavía en la época de ellos, pero no de calidad. Pero déjenme volver a los maestros, porque son personajes clave en esta historia. Yo mencionaba hace rato esa insistencia un poco irreflexiva con que los maestros nos machacan y nos machacan con la ortografía. Pero lo cierto es que estando las cosas como están, eso tiene total sentido. En nuestra sociedad, la ortografía funciona como un índice privilegiado que permite distinguir al culto del bruto, al educado del ignorante, independientemente del contenido de lo que se esté escribiendo. Uno puede conseguir o dejar de conseguir un trabajo por una H que puso o dejó de poner. Uno puede convertirse en objeto de...
Flick to link, a link to flick. My photo taste is the Pinterest because they are the best.
Before we recap on our words today, of course, we have our Facebook challenge. We've been talking about doors, amongst other things, and we have a door idiom. The question is, what does to show someone the door mean?